Following on from Manchester United's 2-1 Derby Day victory over the scum known as City, I thought it would be worthwhile looking at the lead-up and aftermath of the game that sent seismic shocks throughout the footballing world. Let's go. Ruben Amorim became the first manager since Sir Alex Ferguson to win a debut derby, but it wasn't all peaches and cream for Amorim. Going into the game, the notorious Samuel Luckhurst was leaking things left, right and centre, beginning with the full team lineup. On Facebook of all things, you know, that site where your nan sends you funny cat videos or you try to sell your second-hand air fryer? Yeah, that's the one. News broke that both Garnacho and Rashford were not in the Manchester United squad, but they did both train at Carrington the morning of the match, showing that for whatever reason, they had been dropped. During the pre-match interviews, Amorim was obviously asked about the pair's omission from the squad, to which he responded, "I pay attention to everything, the way you eat, the way you put your clothes on to go to a game, everything. I make my evaluation, then I decide. There is a communication after the last training. They are all right. They had training this morning, and I was there. They trained really well." Basically saying there's an attitude problem somewhere with the pair, because if he's saying they're training really well, then it's obviously not purely down to a performance issue. It must be something that they have done off the training ground that hasn't impressed Amorim. At first thought, when hearing Amorim mention the way you put your clothes to go to a game, it instantly reminded me of the semi-viral clip of Marcus Rashford throwing his gloves on the floor rather than handing them to the member of staff who was putting his hand out to take them off of him. Alas, this shocking revelation led to Kobe Mainoo being the only academy graduate in the United squad, which was actually a shocking thing to hear given Manchester United's long history of academy graduates being involved in the team. However, a couple of ex-players seemed fairly happy about the decision to take Rashford and Garnacho out of the squad. Roy Keane on Ruben Amorim dropping Marcus Rashford and Garnacho. Big call from the manager. I like to see it. Peter Schmeichel on Ruben Amorim omitting Rashford and Garnacho. I like it. The match began fairly uneventful at first. Rasmus Højlund was involved in an altercation with Kyle Walker where, if I'm being honest, Kyle Walker just showed the desperation of Manchester City. They were so desperate to get an unfair advantage in the game that their captain, of all people, dived to the ground when squaring up with Højlund in a hope he would get sent off. Fortunately, the ref saw right through the act and gave both Højlund and Walker a yellow card. Roy Keane was vocal on Walker's antics, saying, "I don't know the guy, but I'm embarrassed for him." Manchester United were the team to take the first blow, going 1-0 down, making that 8 goals conceded this season from corners. Only Wolves, with 9 goals, who are 19th in the league, have conceded more goals from corners in the Premier League than Manchester United so far this season. Going into half-time, it really wasn't looking pretty. 1-0 down away to City, where they clearly had more momentum, making for a rather boring first half. However, despite all of this, there was still a feeling that United had more to show, and having in their previous game come back from a goal down, you did wonder, can they do it again? The comeback should have commenced when Ruben Dias completely wiped Højlund out by hooking his leg over the Danish striker without making contact with the ball, but we were denied this blatant penalty, supposedly because it's not a pen in a game like this, according to Mike Dean, which goes to show the level of refereeing in this country, but that's a rant for another day. It wasn't until Ahmad gave the referee no choice but to award United a penalty after he smartly drew in a foul from Nunes, who was attempting to make up for an error. Bruno Fernandes stepped up to take the penalty and performed one of the coldest celebrations you will ever see, looking right in the eyes of the City fans like they were children, shrugging his shoulders as if to say, "What did you expect?" Not only was this a vital penalty in terms of the derby, but it also broke another Manchester United record set by Wayne Rooney. Most penalties scored for Manchester United in the Premier League, Bruno Fernandes 21, Rooney 20. After this beautiful goal in the 88th minute, the momentum was all with United. And who else to step up than the man that had just won the penalty to give us life? That man, Amad Diallo, stepped up yet again. After a peach of an assist from Martinez, he flicked the ball up in the air, well above Ederson, and then slotted it home past the defenders. Composure personified. And the scenes afterwards were immense. immense. I mean, look at Casemiro. Onana was throwing limbs with the away end, and that's all she wrote. Manchester United ended the match winners at 2-1. Deservedly so. If you look at the XG, we created over double the effective chances for Scum did. The XG, Man City 0.99 versus 2.18 Man United, resulting in Amorim continuing to progress the side on top of reinforcing that he was the right choice to bring in to replace Ten Hag. Manchester United wins this season, 4 under Eric Ten Hag in 14 games, 4 under Ruben Amorim in 7 games. After the match, Amorim had this to say: "It was incredible. I think we deserved it. It was a very tough match, but we believed until the end. We managed to score. We needed that win. It was important for us and our fans. I also believe then when we have Fergie time and we put the things together and something magic happened, it was a good day for us." It's ironic really that Amorim weren't in Fergie time, as he now joined the man in the history books by winning his first derby as manager. But it gets even better. There were exactly 115 seconds between Bruno Fernandes's penalty and Ahmad's goal. 115. Why was the number 115 so significant again? That's just completely slipped my mind. Silly me. Pep Guardiola speaking after losing to Ruben Amorim for the second time this season: "I'm not good enough. I am the boss, the manager. I have to find solutions. And so far, I haven't. That's the reality." Honestly, Pep Guardiola must be so tired of seeing this man. Not only did he get absolutely destroyed in the Champions League, but now he's been banished to the Europa League spots because of Ruben Amorim. I said in one of my previous videos that Amorim would retire Pep from the Premier League, and it's actually happening right before our eyes. The only person who has ever managed to make Pep this frustrated was Julia Roberts. This is a quote from Giuseppe in 2023. "Julia Roberts came to England a few years ago in the period when United were not good. We were better, and she came to Manchester United. She didn't come to see us. Even if I win the Champions League, it cannot make up for Julia Roberts not coming to see us." Sorry, Pep. I doubt Julia Roberts is ever going to come and visit your dusty team now, mate. Unfortunately, we did receive a bit of worrying news after the result. Noussair Mazraoui was limping as he left the United dressing room. Hopefully everything is okay and he's just limping as a result of a tiring game rather than a substantial injury, given that he is our signing of the summer. As for the remainder of the players, all were very quick to jump on socials to celebrate the big win. Matthijs de Ligt on Instagram: "First Manchester derby, first win. This one's for the fans." Some were a bit cringier than others. Joshua Zirkzee on Instagram: "Paint the town red like Doja said." I mean, okay. But some absolutely smashed it out the park. Rasmus Højlund: "Manchester is red, violets are blue. What a brilliant performance." But the Oscar goes to... Mainu was quick to give praise to the star of the show, Ahmad, simply saying, "Told you." Meanwhile, Captain Fernandes preferred to go old school and celebrate in front of the City fans rather than save it for socials. That's my captain. Ruben Amorim was quick to praise Diallo, saying, "He can play different positions, he is very humble. We have to be very careful with Ahmad because sometimes in our club, we put young players in a special place. Let's stay calm with Ahmad." However, it might be a bit hard for the fans and the player to stay calm when he's getting literal shout-outs from footballing icons like David Beckham. Here's what he had to say. "And the rebuild begins. Big win. Big team win with players who want to wear this jersey." And just to top it all off, let's hear from the man of the match. Amad Diallo: "I am following the manager's system. He's demanding a lot of pressing, and when I have to press, I go 100%, and I don't care who is there, who is not there." Ahmad makes no secret that he's following the instructions of the boss, and when he is following them, he's giving 100%. I don't think it's a shock that he's coming out saying this, and he's also the player that shined the brightest in the Amorim era so far. Amad Diallo: "I would have preferred to celebrate this one at Old Trafford with a lot of fans, but I just celebrated like when I score every time. This is not a disrespect to City fans. I just wanted to celebrate my goals. I'm a chill guy. I just want to celebrate." Amad Diallo is a chill guy. Just hang it in the Louvre already. Let me know what you made of the derby and key takeaways in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like and subscribe for more honestly biased sports content. Godspeed.